All right. Annie, so what my project is, it's going to be my major project, and pretty much I'm focusing on the problem space of East Asian Australians between the ages of 14 and 50 and the bamboo ceiling. So, Annie, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the bamboo ceiling. It's pretty much like the glass ceiling. Have you heard of the glass ceiling?
I think I've heard of it, but I'm actually not too sure what
What
it
it is?
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the glass ceiling is barriers and obstacles that prevent women from reaching senior leadership role. The bamboo ceiling is barriers and obstacles that prevent people of Asian heritage obtaining senior leadership positions in Western nations. That's what it is in a nutshell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a prejudice in terms of a cultural aspect as opposed to a gender aspect.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So that was what my problem space was with this first assessment. And I'm currently working on my second assessment where I'm exploring ideas and potential solutions for when I go into my next term of study and actually create my major project. So I've been doing a series of small experiments and I just want to take you through them and I just want to hear just like your honest feedback and your opinion. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so just chime in whenever you'd like. So
Okay.
to start off, as you can see on my screen, so this is a concept, an early concept I came up with called the bamboo ladder ring. So what it is a finger wrap ring, wraps entirely around your finger, made of bamboo that looks like a ladder.
Okay.
Idea, so I made a very rough paper prototype is that you have this long sort of ring that wraps around your finger and it's quite restrictive in your movement. And it's meant to represent the physical barriers and obstacles that we as East Asians experience in the workplace. You know, wearing it's very uncomfortable because it's restrictive, but
Okay.
it is designed to be broken. So with each rung, you're meant to remove it as you gain a promotion. The idea being, okay, this is like quite physically discomforting. I'm going to do something about it. And in order to remove those rungs, I have to gain a promotion to achieve the leadership position I want to be in. And eventually, it becomes a very comfortable ring to wear. So the
Okay.
feedback for this was quite positive. It's like, yeah, you know, it's sort of like representing our struggles in a physical sort of impairment way. But one of it was, well, you know, it's a very visible thing having to wear it on my finger, you know. What if I don't want to wear it, you know? What if I don't want to have to constantly explain to people what this signifies, you know, or what if it has sort of negative connotations by me wearing something so visible? So, what I'm going to get your opinion on, Annie, is another idea I came up with. And this idea is around undergarments, which are invisible. So, you know how
Okay.
superheroes wear undies on the outside? What if,
Okay. Yeah.
what if we design a version for the East Asian Australian? So, I'm going to show you three ideas, Annie. What I
Okay.
want you to do is tell me your thoughts on it, which one you like the best, which one you don't like, which one works, which one doesn't work, or your general thoughts around them. Okay. So,
Okay.
first idea.
Sure.
So, I'm very much interested in the idea of superhero undergarments because in Asian culture, we have a lot of, you know, folklores and folk heroes, such as Monkey King, you know.
That's
And
right.
yes. I'm sort of thinking about, well, can we incorporate this into our undergarments? For instance, on lingerie, instead of these flowers, could we have beautiful Asian cultural imagery of Monkey King, you know, the lucky clouds, you know, and these, you know, allusions to these beautiful sort of illustration within our culture? Another way of executing it could be, you know, purely screen printing it onto the fabric of underwear. So it can be used for both men and women. So that's the first idea.
Okay.
Second idea. So, you know how I was describing the bamboo ring?
Yes.
and how it's sort of like restricting your finger. Well, what if we instead made a restrictive undergarment through the use of things like corsets and girdles and suspenders? And the thing about bamboo, it's a very versatile fabric. So you can use it for things like fleece and jersey, knitted material, as well as making boning, bamboo boning for, keeping the integrity of the corset in place. So you see those lines there on the corset?
Yes.
Yes. So those are traditionally made from whale bones. These days,
Yeah.
you can make it from steel and also bamboo, which are more animal friendly.
Okay.
Idea is that, yes, we're taking a piece of garment, making it out of bamboo to show the sort of comment on the restriction that we feel, taking something that is mental, becoming physical, and that whole physical discomfort. So that's the second idea. Yeah.
Yes.
And then the third idea, is a hidden uniform undergarment. So, you know how we have things like charity ribbons and also those
Yes.
silicon bands? So we wear them
Yes.
on the outside. They're very, very visible to show that, we support this cause and support this as, support awareness of this. What if we made it so it's hidden underneath? It's your own undergarments that you wear not to show the world that you are supportive of the cause, but rather to show yourself and empower yourself that you are supportive of what you stand for. And I'm very much interested, in the color red, whether something could be done around that, while also utilizing the whole bamboo fabric, being a very sustainable sort of material that is also, of cultural link to our heritage and Asian culture. So that's the third idea. So that's just all three ideas in a nutshell.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
first off, I'd like to know, what concept are you most drawn to and why?
I think maybe the first or the third one. I think because the third one, it kind to me, even if it's hidden, it's more of a self-worth type of thing. It's kind of like an inner strength. You don't need to really necessarily show the world, you know, um, it's not as in your face. Or even like you said, when we have charities and whatnot, you have like ribbons or even like the armbands and stuff. I see them nowadays with charities. Some people still wear like the rubber band things, the silicon bands on your hand, like the ones we had used to have for like white ribbon or like charity and whatnot. So it's kind of, you're letting people know, you support something, but it's, I guess, not as in your face as maybe like underpants outside your clothes, like superheroes. The print is really, really interesting, actually. I think especially the one, I think there was like a middle panel where you were combining like the superheroes with the Monkey King. So it's kind of like a tradition and a modern kind of collaboration together. So I think the meaning behind it is also, I think, really, it's kind of like a modern type of idea where you know it's kind of like a topic that maybe could symbolize, meeting like our Asian culture, really kind of meeting Western, and then kind of having similar kind of themes, like inner strength, like not necessarily heroes, but it's kind of, you know, strength and determination, that type of thing. And like you said, in the workplace, like as an Asian, sometimes it's, a little difficult, or it's kind of, like you said, restrictive to be able to, obtain what maybe like a Western person can in terms of climbing the corporate ladder, because there's always, a prejudice or, stereotypes in terms of what we can and cannot do sometimes. It's not that I don't like the corset and whatnot, but I think in my mind, corset, it's kind of restricting to begin with. And, as women, we kind of had to progress through the years to get out of restrictions. Like as Asians, we had foot binding, and that was very, very painful, but it was,
Mhm.
symbolic of, whatever the beauty and the standards were. And I don't know, maybe it's just a little different in terms of like undergarments. Like as women, like Chinese, we had foot binding, we had to like bind ourselves a lot as well too, not with a corset, but just like with white material. So it was very, very restrictive, which I guess is kind of the theme, but I'm not sure if that really reflects like inner strength, or I'm not sure if that's,
Yeah.
I don't know.
What if you
It's,
get someone who is of non-East Asian descent to wear this corset, so they sort of get a feeling of how we feel as being restricted? Would that be something that could work?
I guess so. That would be an interesting concept to explore, I think.
Mhm.
But I with corsets, it's more of a Western thing, but I get like the restrictive aspect is, I guess, um projected in the same way, where it's uncomfortable and it's very restrictive. It's only really until we kind of loosen it or change it to be
Mm-hmm.
able to progress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about when you say, yeah, just when you were saying that having to loosen it to progress, what if the corset, at first when you wear it, it's very restrictive. However, as soon as you gain a position up on the corporate ladder, a promotion, you can remove one bit of bamboo lining, and that sort of slowly becomes a more comfortable undergarment. Could that?
Yeah, I think that would work as well too.
Mm-hmm.
Bamboo is, it's it's flexible, but it's very, very hard. So
Mm-hmm.
taking it out, is would be a relief one
Yeah.
by one. So it'd be kind of like an achievement type of thing. And
Yeah.
then like the end game is that, it's no longer the boning is all out. It's shaping, but it's not restricting as much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So it'll
It,
be interesting because, like, with if the corset, say, I think is because the Chinese people, we had the silkworms. So if it's from silk and bamboo, they're both Asian. But I
Mhm.
guess as you take the bamboo out, you have the silk,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
yeah, I think that would work as well too.
that is a very interesting point, whether we do use silk as a materiality, because it's used a lot in luxury lingerie, Annie. So you've
That's right.
actually bought something, yeah, bought a really good point on materiality there.
Mm. Because I'm not sure like historically if it's correct, but silkworms I think came from China, and people
Mhm.
traveled a long, long way to come to China for the silkworms, hence the Silk Road, because
Mhm.
that's where a lot of the merchants and whatnot had to travel this Silk Road to get the silk.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm. No, that is true, yeah, because it's a luxury material, it's very expensive. And yes,
Hmm.
people travel far and wide for this prized sort of, um, yeah, prized material, whether that's something, twisting it around could,
Hmm.
the fact that you are of Asian heritage be a prized asset like the silk could be also very interesting to explore.
Could
Mm.
be. The silk was the type of thing that was, awarded from royalty. Like it was one of the rewards that generals and politicians would have gotten when there was, a palace with the king and the emperor and whatnot. It was something to be rewarded with because it was, of such high value and such high quality. Not everybody could get such a thing. It was very expensive.
Mm-hmm. No, that is a good point. I'll make a note of that. If you had to pick one idea, Annie, which one do you think is the strongest in terms of concept?
Um, Let me think. In terms of concept, um, it's kind of a little hard because before I wasn't not so much leaning towards like the second idea with the concept, but in terms of concept, if done well, I think symbolically and like the message, I think the concept would actually be a really, really good idea to
Mhm.
progress on because there's a lot of spaces that you can really dive into to interpret what you're trying to tell people. Whereas in, I think the undergarments is more of like an inner strength type of thing. And it's something that's done, you know, a lot for other causes like charity, like you said before. You know, we had like the white shirts, or, you know, we had bandana day for like children's hospital, I think, when we were in primary school or whatnot. We had, you know, the bandanas or white ribbons, shirts. Yeah, so it's, I think maybe the second or the third one, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I think the third one is something that's done a lot as well too, for many different causes, or even just for people to really put out a message. So I think the third one would be something that could be easily done and have a lot of options that you can expand into doing.
I can sort of see you're sort of shifting. I like the first idea and the third one. Oh, but now that I've explored more of the second one, I also like that idea.
Yes,
Yeah.
the ideas are really good. I think it's more like, I think when you decide on which one to do, there's a lot to really think about in terms of which direction you want to go into. And but yeah, I think in terms of applying it, the third one would be the most easiest to develop. The second one would take a bit of time because there's a lot of small bits and pieces that you might need to try and look into, and then see how you want to interpret that for other people to understand.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the first one is like a very modern take in terms of what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Okay. So it seems like you can see all the good qualities in all three concepts. Yeah. Yeah. But like, if there was one, possibly the second one is the like one idea, and you can only choose one idea, possibly.
Yeah, I think the second idea would be, I'd be really interested to see how the second idea turns out, because I really like the meaning behind it and the progression in terms of achieving the goal per se. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I can now stop sharing. So now I want to ask you about your own underwear collection, Annie. What does that look like? Too embarrassing for you?
No, it's very, very plain. There's really nothing to it. It's I think I have like boy shorts, like the ones that kind of look like shorts, and then you just have like the normal briefs. And then I think the bra is just like a normal bra. It's like not push up, or like it's not like wireless or anything. It's just normal. Yeah. I'm simple.
Yeah.
There's nothing dramatic about it.
Yeah. Well, why is your underwear collection basic? Is there any thinking behind it?
Not really. I think it's more of like a comfort thing, and I don't need like something like a push up, because I can't say there's nothing to push up, but I don't want to push up. I think it's more of like a comfort thing.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't need like lace and like silk. Like it's I think for me, something simple and comfortable is best. I don't want to overthink something that you can't really see, as long as, you know, it doesn't like when you wear clothes on top, it doesn't stick out, or the lining's not, you know, outlined outside. It's fine. In terms of underwear, like I'm not the type to wear like a G-string, or like I think undergarments shouldn't be that complicated. And maybe, you know, I think maybe it's just like a personal preference. Something easy, comfortable, simple is fine.
Yeah.
And maybe like, I don't know, if a special occasion comes up, I'll have to go and buy something. But right now, I think simple, easy, comfortable is best.
How do you feel about wearing embellished underwear? Say if I did go with the superhero fruit, you know? Would you wear beautiful lingerie, Annie? Or how do you feel about the thought of wearing beautiful lingerie?
Mm, it'd be interesting to wear. It'd be kind of like printed underwear, right?
Yeah, it
As
can
in, like,
be.
when you say embellished, is there like something besides the print on it?
So it could be like embroidery, it can be lace, it could have
Okay.
jewels, yes, or it could be just a beautiful fabric pattern. It could just be printed on the fabric as well. There's many types of embellishments.
Okay. I think it'll be interesting to wear. It could be something to be viewed as like maybe like a confidence booster or like a special occasion type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like for example, like Chinese New Year, traditionally you need to wear new things. There's like certain traditions that like Chinese people have, and it coincides to like new clothes. Best if it's red, don't clean. There's a lot of random traditions that we have, but definitely like embellished, like new, pretty red type of things for like New Year's or special occasions is also always something of a tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Um, could be something like weddings or like any type of special occasion, birthdays.
Mm-hmm.
It could be viewed as like something of like a maybe like a confidence booster, or it it'd feel nice to wear. It'd be something special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm. And how do you feel about the idea of wearing something that is beautifully designed that no one else can see?
Well, I mean, sometimes some things don't need to be seen, if you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean. Like there are many beautiful things in the world, and not it doesn't always have to be seen. Could be something personal, like your own little treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody has to see your business,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you feel embarrassed wearing things something like this?
No, I
Mm.
don't think so, because I wear it for myself.
Yeah.
I mean, unless there's, some cause that really needs somebody to see these undergarments,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think I don't think we're that diabolical that we need to be wearing our underwear down the street to be marching for something.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I wouldn't be embarrassed for
Yeah.
it,
Mm-hmm.
because it has a meaning to it, and if I strongly believe in it, then that's all that matters, right?
Yeah. Because on one aspect is you can have a t-shirt that sort of, sends out the message to everyone around you. And then the other aspect is to have something hidden just for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you sort of more or less inclined to have something that is external facing that everyone can see versus internal facing that only you can see?
Um, I think kind of depends on what it is, the
Mm-hmm.
garment is.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's like you said, if it's like a t-shirt and whatnot, I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be embarrassed to, wear it out for the world to see.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like undergarments, I depends on the piece of clothing, I think, because undergarments and like a t-shirt is quite different.
Yeah.
One
You
can wear out, the other you can, but I wouldn't wear out. I wouldn't be walking around in my underwear.
Do you think there's a difference between a t-shirt with a message of the bamboo ceiling versus a piece of underwear with the bamboo ceiling, and which one you would prefer wearing?
Well, I think a t-shirt would be sending the message to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So undergarments would be something to, it would be kind of like an inner support type of thing. So it's something you believe in and it's supporting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The t-shirt would be something you're telling people you believe in, and you also want to encourage them or to send them a message to be aware of such, of the bamboo ceiling. So,
Yeah.
it might be like an interest starter. People might ask, oh, I like your t-shirt, does it mean anything? And it can be a conversation starter. Then you can, you know, better inform people of, such a thing that's happening in in the world, because I didn't really know what the bamboo ceiling was.
Yeah. I guess, well, if it was to come down to it, a t-shirt versus underwear, what would you prefer to wear?
I think I'd prefer the t-shirt. I quite
Mm-hmm.
like t-shirts. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I
Um,
want to, help people understand or better inform people, a t-shirt would be more effective than undergarments.
mm-hmm.
Like I said, the undergarment would be something for myself, and it's kind of like a inner support system,
Mm-hmm.
isn't as opposed to like a t-shirt, which is an outer support system.
Mm-hmm. What's
Yeah.
more important to you, like letting people know that people of East Asian heritage face this sort of barriers and obstacles, or actually finding something that's going to empower you as an East Asian Australian to overcome those obstacles?
I think in I think external is good and all, but it's really at the end of the day, it's something that you kind of need to do for yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
I think as an Asian, I think our belief is if you want something, you kind of need to go do it yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of, I think it's kind of culturally embedded that, it's kind of, you need to support yourself and do whatever needs to be done, and it works out, I think.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
good that people talk about it, but at the end of the day, if you don't do anything about it yourself,
Mm-hmm.
not going to get anywhere. Awareness is good, but I think being proactive yourself might be a little bit more efficient in
Mm-hmm.
terms of, reaching your goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair call. Fair call. All right. I think we've got everything covered there. Thanks, Annie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All good.